Chuka wiped the sweat off his brow as he dragged his last bag up the narrow staircase. The old apartment building ground with age, it was cracked and discolored. It wasn't much, but it was home for now. Housing in the city was expensive, and he had just jumped at the opportunity when he saw the listing. A one-bedroom apartment at half the usual price. It was a steal. As he reached the door, he fumbled for the keys, his heart pounding with exhaustion. The agent had warned him that the place was a little old-fashioned, but failed to mention how airy it looked in the dim evening light. Still, he had no choice. His job barely paid enough to cover rent, and after months of couch hopping, he needed a space of his own. Just as he fit the key into the lock, a voice startled him. "New tenant." Chuka turned to see an elderly woman peering at him from the doorway of the neighboring apartment. Her small eyes gleamed with curiosity. "Yes, ma, I just moved in." She sucked her teeth and shook her head. "Mama Nkechi's flat. May she rest in peace." "Eh? Sorry," Chuka asked confused. "She owned this place before she died," the woman continued, stepping closer. "Strange dirt, if you ask me." Chuka frowned. The agent had mentioned that the former owner had passed, but he hadn't given any details, and truthfully, Chuka didn't care as long as he had a roof over his head. That was all that mattered. "Ah, sorry, oh," he said politely, eager to end the conversation. The woman studied him for a moment before sighing. "Be careful, young man. This house has stories." Before he could ask what she meant, she turned and disappeared into her apartment. Chuka pushed the thought aside as he settled into his new home. The apartment was small but decent. The walls were faded, the wooden floorboard creaked under his weight, and a faint musty smell clung to the air, but it was his. After setting up his mattress on the floor, he had no bed frame yet. He ordered a plate of jollof rice from a nearby buka and sat by the window eating in silence. Outside, the city hummed with life. The distant honk of cars blending with the chatters of pedestrians. At midnight, exhaustion dragged him to sleep. Then came the whisper. Chuka's eyes snapped open. The room was dark, the only light coming from the street lamp outside. For a moment, he thought he had imagined it. Then he heard it again, a faint, hushed voice, like someone speaking just beyond the walls. He sat up, his heart hammering. "Hello?" Silence. Shaking his head, he lay back. The day had been long, he was just tired. But as he drifted off again, he caught a whiff of something, a scent, soft, floral, oddly familiar, like perfume. His stomach clenched. The next month, Chuka convinced himself he had dreamt it all. He spent the day job hunting and returned home exhausted. Just as he was about to step into the apartment, he spotted a group of neighbors gathered near the gate, whispering. He caught the words "Mama Nkechi" and "strange." Deciding not to get involved, he brushed past them. That night, the strangeness continued. As he lay in bed, the door to his wardrobe creaked open on its own. Chuka sat up staring. The window was closed, there was no draft. Slowly, he stood and walked over. Peering inside, nothing was his few clothes. Then the whisper returned. This time it was clearer. "Help me!" Chuka stumbled back, his breath quaking. "Who's there?" But there was no answer. Then cold, a sudden sharp drop in temperature. He could see his breath fogging the air. Grabbing his phone, he flickered on the flashlight and scanned the room. Empty. This wasn't normal. That night, Chuka had a dream. He was standing in the apartment, but it wasn't as it was now. It was brighter, cleaner, and furniture rich and elegant. And standing before him was a woman. She was plump, her dark skin smooth, despite her age. She wore a red wrapper. Her eyes sad yet fierce. The scent of that same floral perfume clung to her. "Mama Nkechi," Chuka whispered. He didn't know how he knew, it just came to him. She stepped closer. "I was poisoned, and you must help me get justice." "Yes." Chuka's throat went dry. "My mother still lives amongst you." He whispered. He shivered. "Who?" Before she could answer, the dream shattered. Chuka jotted awake, drenched in sweat. The scent of her perfume still lingered. Chuka couldn't shake the dream. The words haunted him. I was poisoned. My mother still lives among you. Was it really just a dream, or had Mama Nkechi's restless spirit reached out to him? That morning, as he stepped out of his apartment, he noticed the old woman from the previous night watching him from her doorway. Her eyes carried an unspoken warning. You saw more, didn't you? She asked. Chuka hesitated. She spoke to me. She said she was poisoned. The woman exhaled sharply. You should leave it alone. Chuka frowned. But if someone killed her, don't they deserve to be exposed? She shook her head. The dead don't need justice, the living do. Before he could ask what she meant, she shut the door. Chuka stood there for a moment, then made up his mind he had to know the truth. He started with the neighbors. Most were reluctant to talk, but some let slip little details. Mama Nkechi was tough, said an older man, wiping sweat from his brow as he repaired his bicycle. She didn't tolerate nonsense. Some tenants resented her for it. What kind of nonsense? Chuka pressed. Late payment, noise complaints, illegal businesses. The man shrugged. She took people to court over unpaid rent. Not everyone liked that. Another neighbor, a woman selling groundnut by the roadside, added, she had a fight with one man. What's his name? That carpenter, AAGK. Chuka noted the name. What happened? He owed her money for almost a year. She finally threatened to evict him. A week later, she fell sick. That made two suspects, Ada the niece and AGK the carpenter. That evening, Chuka sat outside with his closest friend in the compound, Emeka. They are bonded over shared struggles, both young men trying to make ends meet in the city. You are playing with fire, my guy, Emeka muttered when Chuka told him everything. Come on, Emeka, don't you think it's strange? Everyone talks about her death like it was a mystery, but nobody really wants to know what happened. Emeka sighed, rubbing his forehead, because people mind their business and you should too. But no, but Emeka interrupted. I know you. You won't let this go, but some truths are dangerous. Chuka frowned. You think someone actually killed her? Emeka didn't answer. She finally stood. All I'm saying is, be careful. That night, Chuka came home to chaos. His room had been ransacked, his mattress overturned, his few belongings scattered, his clothes ripped from the wardrobe. His heart pounded as he scanned the wreckage. Then he saw it, a note. A single note of paper resting on his upturned mattress. With shaking hands, he picked it up and read the words scrawled in thick, angry stroke. Stay out of things that doesn't concern you, or you will join her. Cold dread washed over him. Someone knew he was asking questions, and they wanted to stop him. Chuka sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the warning note in his hands. Fear clouded at his chest, but he refused to back down. Someone had killed Mama Nkechi, someone living right here in this compound, and now that person knew he was getting close. As if they thought a simple threat would scare him, they were wrong. He had an idea, a risky one. The next morning, Chuka made sure he went in the open courtyard where most of his tenants gathered. He pulled out his phone, raised his voice slightly, and began his staged conversation. Yes, I understand, he said, pretending to speak to the police. I'll bring the evidence tomorrow, the files, the witness statement, everything. A few hairs turned. I have proof that Mama Nkechi was murdered. He continued pacing, and I know exactly who did it. The compound fell eerily silent. Even those who were looking at him suddenly seemed to be listening. Okay, officer, I'll keep the documents safe. See you tomorrow. He ended the fake call, slid his phone into his pocket, and walked away as if nothing had happened. Now, he just had to wait. That night, Chuka sat in his room with the lights off, pretending to be asleep. He clutched a wooden stick under his blanket, his heart racing. Minutes passed, then as then movement, the door creaked open, a shadow slipped inside. Chuka held his breath, waiting. The intruder moved swiftly, going straight to his table, rummaging through his papers. We were looking for the evidence, he realized. Without warning, Chuka leapt from the bed and switched on the lights. Got you? The figure jerked back in shock. It was a woman. Mama Nkechi's former assistant, Ijoma. Chuka's eyes widened. You? But before he could say another figure dashed into the room. AGK the carpenter. Chuka, don't do anything stupid, AGK growled, his eyes wide. You too? Chuka's voice shook. You killed her? Ijeoma's face contorted with rage. You had to dig, didn't you? You poisoned her, Chuka said, the realization crashing over him. You and Ejike, but why? Ejike clenched his fist. That woman was a tyrant. She controlled this whole place like she was a queen. I was drowning in debt because of her. And you? Chuka turned to Ijoma. She changed her will, she spat. I worked hard for years and in the end she left everything to a stupid charity instead of me. So you killed her, Chuka said, disgusted. Ijoma stepped forward. And if you don't shut your mouth, you will end just like her. A sudden gust of wind swept through the room. The light flickered and then her scent filled the air, the floral perfume, the same one Chuka had smelled ever since he moved in. Ijoma and Ejike froze. Then the temperature dropped. The window slammed open, a chilling whisper from the room. Murderers! The door behind them slammed shut. A shape began to form in the dim light. Waves of white wearing into a figure, Mama Nkechi. Her ghostly eyes glowed with a cold, unnatural light. Ijoma let out a strangled scream. No, this isn't real. Mama Nkechi raised a transparent hand. The words shuddered. The light bulb flickered violently. You killed me. Her voice echoed, layered and erring. You thought no one would know, but the dead never forget. Ejika dropped to his knees, shaking. Please, it wasn't my idea, it was hers. He pointed at Ijoma. Ijoma shrugged. Liar, you are the one who. A loud bang cut her off as the wardrobe doors burst open on their own. Chuka barely moved. He was frozen in awe and fear. Mama Nkechi's voice was a whisper that wrapped around the walls. Confess or suffer. Ejike broke first. We did it. We poisoned her food. His voice cracked with terror. She was supposed to die slowly and no one would suspect. We just wanted her gone. Ijoma sobbed. She was going to leave us with nothing. The wind died down. The cold began to fade. Mama Nkechi's ghostly form turned towards Chuka and then siren. The police stormed them. Emeka was behind them, panting. I heard shouting and called them. Chuka let out a breath of relief. The officers wasted no time, coughing Ijoma and Ejike, both still too shaking to resist. We have a full confession, one of the officers said. Looks like justice is finally served. As they dragged the murderers away, Chuka turned back to the room. It was quiet now, no whispering, no cracking doors, no floral scent. But then, just as he was about to step out, a soft warmth brushed against his shoulder. He turned and there she was, Mama Nkechi. She was smiling. She nodded at him, her eyes filled with gratitude. Then, as softly as she had come, she faded into a gentle glow, disappearing into the light. And for the first time since he moved in, the apartment truly felt like home. The next morning, as he was about to face the hard bustle of the city, he opened his wardrobe, and there he found a big stock filled with money. On the money was a note written Justice. Then he realized it was a gift from Mama Nkechi. We've come to the end. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please invite your friends and your family to subscribe to my channel, Bearly Stories. If this is your first time, you're highly, highly welcome. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button. And if this is your first time, please, please, please keep coming back and keep returning. We love you.